Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare BAFTA build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building Russian submarine K-141 Kursk. K-141 Kursk was a Oscar II class nuclear powered cruise missile submarine of the Russian Navy. She's most famous for an incident that happened on August 12, 2000. K-141 Kursk was lost when it sank in the Barents Sea, killing all 118 personnel on board. The official release for the cause of the loss of the Kursk was due to a torpedo explosion in the forward torpedo room. The explosion obviously detonated other torpedo warheads and created a very large explosion that was registered as a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in European countries and also registered in some places even as far as Alaska. The submarine obviously took catastrophic damage and sunk to the bottom of the sea. Some crew members were thought to have survived the initial explosion by submerging themselves in water. However, by the time any rescue efforts could be made, it was assumed that all the crew would have already drowned or burned to death due to the damage to the submarine. So overall, a really sad kind of story for the Kursk. The Kursk was later recovered by salvage teams, excluding the bow of the submarine, and they were able to recover some of the remains of the crew members that were basically embedded in the submarine. Overall, pretty sad story for it, but the Kursk here is a very interesting submarine, one of the newer submarines of the Russian Navy, and one that was built in the 1990s, early 1990s, and was commissioned in 1994. So overall, a pretty short-lived fate for the Kursk, but a really cool submarine class to say the very least, and one that is definitely a fun build to basically build. Before we go and jump into taking a look at this build, though, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a viewer request you're choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link is always in my video descriptions. With that, though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at the Kursk. So starting off with, we have basically the two colored design here. So we have the red on the bottom here, black on top, pretty standard for submarines. We have the front bow of it. It's a very kind of big submarine compared to the one we have over here, which is the Delta IV class, which is a bit of an older design class, but you can see it's definitely a lot larger of a submarine. This one has a pretty cool design with the cruise missiles instead of being behind the conning tower. It's actually to the sides, which kind of gives this area a little bit more of a chunky appearance, but it's pretty cool. So you got the cruise missiles that would be located here and would be able to basically fire out, and that was kind of the main role here for this submarine. As you progress further back, we have the kind of rear of it, or just the midsection, the stern, just again more of the hull here of the submarine, pretty simple and straightforward. And we get to the back here, it's got the two propeller shafts, the obviously the diving planes, stabilizers, all that stuff. But overall, really nice looking submarine, and should make an awesome addition to any of your BAFTA build fleets. We've done we've done the Delta IV class here just recently as a submarine, so definitely another cool ship to add to our submarine fleets if you're looking for that kind of vessels, because we don't have very many submarines, so they're definitely nice to have once we do get them. But with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer number 1. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we'll be going ahead and start with layer 1. One quick thing I do want to mention, for those of you that do want to have this submarine surfaced, I do want to make sure that we go over exactly how to place it so that you can have it positioned correctly to look like it's surfaced. To make sure that's correct, basically layer 1 here, you can see we have this red concrete block, which is going to be part of layer 1. You can see here this is going to sit basically one block below the surface. So you can see this blue concrete here representing the water surface, and you want this sitting one block below it. Very important, make sure that's correct. Obviously it's going to look weird if you have it too submerged, or you have it too surface, so just make sure that's correct. You can also submerge it down one more block if you want the water level to be at this point here, so you want the submarine to look a little bit more submerged. You're obviously more than welcome to do that as well, but this right here is kind of like the sweet spot where I think it looks pretty good to have it, so that's where we're going to go ahead and place it. Anyways, though, let's get started here. So the first thing we're going to do with the red concrete block is we're going to place down a brick top slab forward. We're going to then go back for a red concrete from the center block, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 red concrete blocks. So in total, this row here should be 26. So from the brick top slab to the end here is going to be row 26. We're going to go then place down 2 brick top slabs back like that, a red stained glass pane, and then a brick wall after that to go ahead and basically complete our center line. So that right there is going to be the center of our submarine. We're going to then go to the side here of this first red concrete block. We're going to place down a brick top slab, and then we're going to go and then place down a brick upside down stair directly behind that. So like so. We're going to go then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red concrete blocks. And on the center 6 red concrete blocks, we're going to go ahead and place down acacia wood trapdoors coming off those blocks. And we're just going to go and do the same thing over here on this side so that we're kind of keeping both sides at the same point here. So we're just going to go ahead and again do the same thing here on this side. Now after we get to this point, we're going to go then take our brick stairs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 brick stairs, then an acacia wood trapdoor to the side, 1, 2, 3, and 4 acacia wood trapdoors, again 4 brick ups down stairs, and then another acacia wood trapdoor to the side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red concrete or red brick stairs going back like so. With that done, we're going to go and then take our red stained glass panes, and we're going to place down a row of 4 going back on the remaining 4 red concrete blocks. And the same thing we're going to go ahead and just do over here to this side. So again, same thing all the way along the side here. Again, don't forget those trapdoors. And then we have our red stained glass panes. And that right there is going to basically wrap up everything that we do have there for layer number 3 for the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to, layer number 1 for our build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and move on to our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 2. For layer 2 to begin with, we're going to place down a black concrete block on top of this top slab right here, and we're going to go and go back from the black concrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 black concrete blocks back in total. Let me just go and double check the count here, and we have 31 blocks in length. After that, we're going to go ahead and again go back up to our front. We're going to place down a black stained glass pane on both sides of this forward block, as well as a black concrete block to both sides of those glass panes. We're going to go ahead and also place down a birchwood button on the sides here of these 3 blocks, like that around the front. We're going to go then place down a row of black concrete that's going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So it's going to end on top of this brick stair right here. And then after we have that done, we're going to go and switch to polished black stone walls. And we're just going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 polished black stone walls back, a acacia wood fence gate, and then a skeleton skull on the end. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side with our black concrete. So again, running all the way along the side here until we get to our last stair. And then our polished black stone walls, again, running all the way back to the last black concrete block. Then again, an acacia wood fence gate and a skeleton skull there on the very end for the props. With that done, we're going to go off the 2 last polished black stone walls here. We're going to place down 1 and 2 rows of 2 of dark oak trapdoors. So same thing on both sides there. After that, we want to go and then go back up to the front here of the ship. We're going to go ahead and take our black stained glass panes, and after this birchwood button, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of these glass panes back. And same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 back. After we have that done, we're going to take our birchwood buttons, and all the way along the side, the remaining black concrete blocks, we're going to place down birchwood buttons. So again, like this on both sides. And after we have that all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 2. Again, here is an overview of what it should look like from the top-down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer. Actually, real quick, before we do, one quick thing we're going to throw on also is going to be a dark oak trapdoor coming off the side of this second glass pane here from the front. So that's going to be on both sides there. And that right there now is going to complete everything we have for layer 2. And with that, let's move on to layer number 3. For our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and grab some polished blackstone stairs and slabs. We're going to begin with by placing down a slab on top of this block here in the front. And we want to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 black concrete blocks back. At this point in time, depending on what version of Minecraft you're on, if you're on Java, we'll be going ahead and placing down 2 pistons. If you're not on Java, we'll just place down another black concrete block and then a polished black stone slab. Either one will work, but the pistons here are going to be best for making our angle here, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. After those blocks though, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 more polished black stone slabs back, as well as 3 polished black stone walls after that. We then want to go ahead and grab our black carpet. We're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of black carpet, like this, to cover up our stabilizers there on the rear of the ship. And then after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and go back up to the front and start working our way out to the sides. We're going to place down a polished black stone slab on the top of this black concrete block to both sides, as well as a polished black stone stair going back from that. We're going to go then take our black concrete blocks. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 blocks back from the stair. Same thing over here. And once we have that done, we're going to go to the middle 6 of those blocks, and we're going to go ahead and place down dark oak with trapdoors. And my bad, it's actually going to be the last 5. So you're going to have these 2, so you're going to have 1, 2, and then you're going to place down 5 trapdoors on the remaining 5, and you should have 1 block on the end that does not have a dark oak trapdoor. We also want to move this trapdoor back 1, so it's going to be right here next to this glass pane. We're going to place down black carpet here, black carpet on top of the glass pane, and a birch button. So it should look like this here for the front. And we're going to go to the other side and just do the same thing. So just make the same adjustments, like so. And again, our trapdoors here are going to be like this on the side here as well. Now after that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our polished black stone stairs. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 stairs. And over here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We then want to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 wither skeleton skulls, and 1, 2, 3, like so. And we're going to go then place down 1 and 2, like this, on the remaining, on these last, second and third from last walls there. And then once we have that all done there, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for this layer, just trying to make sure we're not missing anything. And that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for the layer. One quick thing for us Java players is we're going to go ahead and type in the command /give @p minecraft :debug_stick. By pressing enter with that command, we can go ahead and then go up to these pistons. We can left click them until we get selected extended false prompt pop up. By right clicking, we'll get rid of that wood portion, and it really helps with the back sloping there of the submarine. So as you can see, just like that. Anyways though, with that all the way, we'll be going ahead and moving into our final layers of the build, which will consist of layers 4 and 5. So with that, let's move on to our last final layers. Moving into our last final layers, we have layers 4 through 6. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a birch wood button on top of these 2 blocks right here up there on the front. We're going to go then basically place down a row of polished black stone trapdoors back from the button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 as well. With that, we're going to then go to the middle between the second, basically polished black stone pressure plates, and we're going to go ahead and place down a black concrete block. We're going to then go back 1, 2, 3, and 4, so you have a total of 5. On the front of this block, facing toward the bow of the submarine, we're going to place down an item frame, and then a light gray bed in the item frame, which we're going to rotate sideways like so. If you're on Java, we can also place down a dark oak wood sign on the side there of that black concrete block. Just note that placing an item frame and sign in the same block space is going to only be for Java players, and if you're on a different version, you'll have to just settle with just placing down the item frame. After that though, we're going to go and then place down a redstone repeater on top of this first black concrete block, and we're going to go and separate the notches like so. We're going to follow this up with an acacia wood button right behind it. Then we're going to place down 2 end rods on top of each other, 1 iron bar, and again 2 end rods like so to go ahead and complete your conning tower. With that done, we're going to go and then go to the rear of the submarine. On our second to last black concrete block, we're going to place down a button of birch wood right on top of that. And then for the very back here, we want to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull on top of the middle polished black stone wall right there. Then a polished black stone wall like this going back from that. Dark oak wood sign on both sides of the wall. And then lastly, a wither skeleton skull coming off the side of this wall facing toward the rear of the submarine. After that's all done, that right there is going to complete what we have there for layers 4 through 6. And with that, that's going to complete our tutorial for the K-141 Kursk. Oscar II class, nuclear powered cruise missile submarine. Well, if you guys do enjoy this design and are able to put it to good use, if you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from a side of the build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free for a project you guys are working on. Other than that, again, big special thanks to Patreon support Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.